Hello everybody. My name is Philipp Ageten, and today I'm very excited to speak to you today about OT and finance. And you might ask yourself, why is somebody from Siemens talking about finance? Because that is nothing that you probably would just directly associate with Siemens, or I would consider it as our natural home territory, so to speak. And the reason why I'm irrespective of that talking about finance and OT is that I'm coming from a corporate startup within Siemens, which is called Data Driven X, or DDX in short. And there we are following together with our team a very well-defined agenda and framework that allows us to firstly identify the pain points of the customer, then secondly define a solution to that, and then thirdly scale it along the way. And we are on that road since 2.5 years now, or 2 years now. And the mission and vision of DDX is to connect finance and OT, and that bridges over to why I'm speaking about finance in the first place. And you might ask yourself again why we should do that, and why is there a need to connect finance and OT? And I would just give you 2 examples on that, just to give an idea of why that is something that we should look into. And the example is basically from the finance area, and more precisely from the insurance domain. So given the fact that you are insuring a machine, it happens sometimes or more frequently that the machine from an insurance or from a financial perspective breaks down for no reason, basically, that the financial institute can anticipate. So you don't have any clue what the machine does on the shop floor, and for that the risk is off, also the claims is off, and by that you would very much benefit from having a direct connection from the machine all the way to the insurance institute and really see how the machine is doing, how the condition is, and so forth. Same now looking on the same case, so insurance from the OT perspective, you have the situation that your insurance contract is rigid. So you just sign it off once, and then it doesn't matter if you treat the machine on a very nice level, you run it 150%, if you just do it flat out, it doesn't matter. It basically, you sign it off once and then it's not touched again. And again, here you just see the pattern. It would be very helpful to have a connection from the machine all the way to the insurance institute to see basically what the machine does, and then adjust the premium or the tariff of the machine and the insurance according to it. And that is just 2 examples basically why there is a lot of problems that you cannot solve in isolation, either in finance or in OT. And this is our mission and vision from DDX perspective, to bridge that gap by means of introducing DDX platform, which is nothing else but a platform connecting OT and finance by means of leveraging IoT data with the trustworthy data stream, and on DDX platform doing the analysis, the augmentation of data and interpretation, that the financial institute in the end can really build a financial product on top of that. And just by disrupting that 2 separate ecosystems, the direct benefits is that on the one hand side, you're able to implement flexible business cases, you're able to implement flexible and dynamic financial products, and you have a way more increased transparency on the assets. So basically, from a financial perspective, you really know what's going on the shop floor. And as you have already connected both ecosystems, it's very easy to increase the efficiency, speaking about claims management, about underwriting, because you have a direct connection between both ecosystems. And just at that stage, this sounds too good to be true, right? And you might ask yourself, why is that not there in the market at scale? And the simple answer is way more complicated than having attached a Raspberry Pi to a machine and sending data to some cloud. And the reason basically it's not there at scale is depicted on that slide. So you need 3 pillars to really lift that business case and to scale it. So on the one hand side, you need the technology profoundness in the area of OT. You need this technology profoundness in the area of AI. You need the same for IT and for finance. So 4 basically subcategories in the pillar of technology that you really need to own to implement that business case. Secondly, you need to be a trusted partner in the area of OT. So somebody needs to trust you that you really take care of the data and make sure that the data goes in a trustworthy manner all the way to the financial institute that then in the end builds the financial product on top of that. This is number 2. And number 3 is you need the market access and also the trust in the area of finance to get the partners that are needed for that business case in equal share to the table. So it is really a 3-pillar approach, and if you just look at that, there is no single company in the world that has that track record in all of those 3 pillars. even not Siemens. And that is the reason why we set ourselves to a mission to find a partner really to compensate and complement what we have here. And we are now proudly announcing that this partner is Microsoft because it's a perfect fit in the area of technology. It's a perfect fit in the area of being a trusted brand, and it's also like trusted in the area of finance, particularly, and it possesses the muscle to scale all of that from like being a very tiny startup all the way to a scalable product. And in the next slide, I would just briefly talk you through how that collaboration looks like in detail. And it's also, again, here a three-pillar approach. Firstly, we are looking into that we are building the products on top of DDX on Azure natively integrated. And with that, we are one of the first platforms here in Siemens that does that and chooses the Azure platform as the native platform to build and release products on top of that. Secondly, we are looking into joint offerings where we combine different products, both from Siemens, DDX, and from Microsoft, to really add value to you guys, and just by combining them and not doing really extensive implementation and trying to do something that somebody else has better in their portfolio just all over again. And thirdly, this is all about speed. We're joining forces in the area of go-to-market, so really making sure that we can more thoroughly solve your problems and then making sure that you get those products as fast as possible with a minimum time to market. And that is like bottom line what we're doing here with Microsoft. And in the next slides, I would just show you briefly how that concretely looks like and what you can just imagine by those like high-level pillars. And firstly, that is the example of what we're doing on the area of Azure. So in a nutshell, this is DDX platform from a high-level perspective. The journey of the data starts basically at the machine and the shop floor side, where we have our application called Machine Link, getting the data from the PLC, doing the transformation, the analytics, then sending it all the way to the cloud and into our data pool, where we augment it, enrich it with further data, and also do the analysis on top of that. On top of the data pool, we have the value packages like dynamic payment, like incident reporting, and furthermore. And then on the very right-hand side, you see the APIs that allow us to, on the one hand side, like export data to further partners and consume products from the external world, both in finance, for example, in a matchmaking platform, and same goes for the OT partners, where we are looking, for example, in the area of predictive maintenance. And all of that is complemented, and the end-to-end journey from OT to IT to finance is by the financial system on the very top of that. And as said, this is one of the first platforms here built on Azure and soon to be released on Azure. Secondly, that is something that goes into the area of combining products and making sure that we can create more user and customer value here. Even though that this is a small POC, I just wanted to show that because it really grasps what we're doing here together and it just really underlines the spirit. The setup here is that we have a machine user and an insurance institute. The machine user wants to report that the machine broke down or there is a damage or whatsoever. And basically, the challenge here is that those reports are sometimes faulty, and you can just say basically that they're like obviously not insured in the insurance contract because like there is a paragraph in the contract excluding that particular condition. And instead of having a lot of efforts on the insurance side to sort that out manually and have a delay for the machine user, what we're doing here is just using the capabilities of Microsoft and more particularly of Azure OpenAI to send the incident report all the way to the basically ChatGPT for industries. Also sending along the way the contract and then getting the reply back whether the claim is insured, yes or no, what is the confidence, what is the paragraph, in that contract and further details. And by that, just by combining two pre-existing products, you're just really skyrocketing that product and also create a lot of value without writing too many lines of code in the end. And lastly, as said, this is how we are partnering up now in a first step in the area of go-to-market. This is all about speed. So what we're doing here is using an interlaced marketplace strategy. When it comes to serving product to you guys, we are using the one-stop shop accelerator marketplace. I mean, you know that, and also we had a very interesting panel discussion just recently. However, when it comes to finance, we are using a well-established marketplace, namely the Azure marketplace, because it's already there, it has the traction and the market penetration. and to be fast and really get both parties to the table. This is a perfect fit and basically, again, accelerates everything that we're doing. That is everything from my end. If you have further questions to DDX, to the products, we are there at booth number 81. Colleagues are there to serve you. Also, I will be there after the presentation. Would be happy to answer the questions. And with that, I would give it back to you, Christina. And thank you very much.
Big round of applause to you. But still, I have to say, it's rocket science what you're talking about to me.
Wait for the guys from Microsoft.
Exactly. Under pressure now. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
As said, we will find you at the station over there throughout the course of the fair. So this is definitely the colleague with all the insights on the collaboration and how to combine OT and financial worlds here.
Thank you very much.
So much. Really cool. So we remain in this topic of DDX and combining the finance and the OT worlds here. And so we move now from the DDX topic to the corporate strategy. And as DDX is a prime example for Siemens and Microsoft's collaboration in regards of corporate activities, I am delighted to call the next two gentlemen already standing in pole position here next to the stage up on stage. Please welcome Franz Menzel and Christoph Berlin. Big round of applause to you, gentlemen. Franz, very dynamic. Wow. Lunchtime at SPS Day 1. Please take a seat. Welcome to the sofa of wisdom, I'm going to call it. Usually we say round table. We have a round sofa here to share and kind of inform our guests. So you are smiling. It seems like you're having fun and you're all interested. So quick introduction round. Christoph, you want to start?
Sure. So first of all, thanks for having me. My name is Christoph Berlin. I work at Microsoft and I lead the overall industrial cloud journey with partners such as Siemens together.
And Franz?
Yeah, my name is Franz and I'm having the pleasure being CTO of factory automation.
CTO of factory automation. So this definitely is the spot where you are the right person to talk to customers, but also to get new inspiration and questions for sure throughout the course of the fair. So Franz and Christoph, this question is for both of you. How does the collaboration with DDX fit into the overall partnership between Siemens, digital factory automation, and Microsoft?
Franz, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, Christoph. So up to now, our partnership is about bringing the Microsoft cutting edge technology like cloud, like security, like AI into the shop floor to the operation. With DDX, we extend this partnership to sales, to marketplace, and to joint offerings.
As you're saying it, it sounds very easy, like by the click of a button you involve some other departments. Is it as easy as it sounds?
I mean, it takes a little time, patience, but at the end, it pays out.
Okay, very convincing. Christoph, what's your stake in here?
Well, first of all, we try to make it easy. So that's, I think, the overall goal that we really have to do. Now, the way we look at the partnership with Siemens is that none of us in the technology world can solve these problems by ourselves. Mm-hmm. It's very simple. It's a super complex topic behind the curtain. It is when you talk about generative AI, when you talk about the OT security aspect, the enterprise promise, maturity and all these things. It's really about the aspect of how can we collaborate and really pretty much leverage each other's, let's call it, subject matter expertise. Microsoft has subject matter expertise. We have lots of those. I always call ourselves, we are a horizontal platform provider. We do things across the entire ecosystem. But then Siemens comes in and has the subject matter expertise for not only automation, for the overall aspect of product design, digital twin, and all these things. And if you really bring these two things together, then you have not only a collaboration, but you actually have a shot at solving these very complex problems. And that's why not only do we love to work together, we also can leverage each other in order to really deliver these things faster.
I think the big advantage is that we have two global players with a lot of expertise, and both of them kind of have focused on certain markets,
Yes.
industries, certain technologies, and now we combine this. And our CEO from Digital Industries, Cedric Nike, he always says, you need to work in ecosystems because ecosystems not going to bring you forward anymore. So that's an important one, and it totally states what you've been saying before, Christoph. Now, what are the top challenges which our customers are facing in this field, and especially mutual customers?
So the challenges are certainly manifold. But if you really break them down, I personally believe it comes down to complexity. We are not short on technology. We are not short on things you could do. You're not short on different options and all the different paths of solution building. Putting them all together, scaling them, really building products out of them versus projects, that is for customers one of the biggest challenges that we see. Let's actually take generative AI. Generative AI is amazing. It does things on a level that we have not seen before, but there's also certain complexity to it. And so bringing these aspects to the customers directly is it is a hard bargain. And so what we do instead, and this is what the partnership is really about, is that Siemens and Microsoft builds products together that we bring to the customer so that they don't have to deal with the complexity and also with the longevity aspect of these investments. And so for them, it is the complexity that we face. For us, it is the opportunity to provide a simple solution that helps them scale faster.
Mm-hmm. Now, thinking of that we kind of together solve the problem before the problem exists at the customer sides. Who is the problem solver and who is the messenger of the good story that we've solved the story?
Microsoft is always about a good story.
Okay.
No, it is a joint messaging. It is a joint messaging really about the aspect of the subject matter expertise. I mean, Franz, you have the expertise in the field of that I mentioned before, and you talk to a certain customer segment. We talk to the same customer from a different angle, and together we really have the opportunity to solve this together. Wouldn't you agree?
Definitely. I mean, it's all about creating customer value at the end of the day. And the complexity is as high that we need to collaborate at the end of the day in order to maximize the customer value and we could create.
Perfect. Remaining in the topic of innovations and developing something for our customers, also success stories we often share here on that stage. So which kind of success stories in context of the partnership between Siemens and Microsoft have we achieved?
You want to go ahead?
Yeah. So we do it and we try to really bring our customers in as soon as possible in order to be really sure that we create customer value. And together with Microsoft, Siemens, and our customers, we could really share a few success stories. We are working on very, very nice and promising innovation projects. One example is putting AI on our thematic edge system with Procter & Gamble, and Matthias, who was before us on the stage, will give insights tomorrow. Of course, our really famous chat GPT, we call that industrial co-pilot vision. We show on our booth together with our customer Schaeffler. And this is an amazing story about creating customer value, increasing productivity in the automation engineering as well as in the operation of a production. Amazing. Please take the chance and go to this
The exhibit.
Right, thank you. And you will be convinced. And of course, last but not least, our data-driven business topic.
And I'm going to comment on two things here. We're hosting a press conference today here at 5 o'clock, and it will be exactly talking about the project with Scheffler and the ChatGPT project which we are working on together. And further, we are hosting later on at 3:45 a panel talking about data-driven X. It's in German. It's about dynamic business models for the finance industry. So don't miss those two schedule slots here. 3:45 in German and 5 o'clock our press conference. Now, coming back to our corporate startup, DDX France. How does the partnership model for DDX differ from other large projects in regards of their innovation approach?
Yeah, the DDX is a corporate startup. And we strongly believe that if you will be, or if you would like to be successful, successful in business, you have, of course, do innovation in your core business. In our case, it's factory automation, and this is exploitation. But at the same time, explore new areas of business opportunities. In the case of data-driven business, it is a finance. And exploring new opportunities means you can fail, of course. Mm-hmm. And 9 of 10 startup activities fail because there is a lack of customer interest at the end of the day. So we follow a really structured process. We call this the DI innovation framework, and empowering and guiding the teams, asking the right questions at the right time in order to validate the business opportunity. Now DDX is in this, goes through this whole process 2 years now, and it is successfully. It will be one of our successful corporate startups, and it is just on the border from being a successful incubator and going to scaling our business. We are very proud on that, by the way.
For good reasons. For good reasons, Franz, definitely. And I mean, we establish business, and it's business case driven. So we always have in mind that we support customers, as we said, and that there is a great output at the end. So, question to both of you. As announced, like the LLM, which is our ChatGPT, and the generative AI provider, how do you envision the future of the Siemens-Microsoft collaboration? Christoph?
How do we envision the collaboration, let's say, next month or in 6 months? It's a really good question. And there's a very simple answer. It is a very additive and very value-driven collaboration. Because at the end of the day, for example, what Microsoft provides are the platform services. We provide the hyperscale platform. We provide the security behind it, as mentioned before. We bring subject matter expertise into large language models. But it only goes to so far, because at the end of the day, the accuracy of a model can only go so far you can actually take it. Then when you bring Siemens into this whole picture, then you take it to the next frontier with regards to accuracy. So for us, it is really about this aspect of collaboration on the technology side, but also leveraging each other's technology, let's call it stance. You don't want to invest in what I always refer to as non-differentiating technology. There's no need for Siemens to rebuild what we have built. And vice versa, there's no need for us to go into the OT space to say, how do we bring better data models into the overall finance world? No, it is about collaboration, it is about layered architectures, and it is about leveraging each other's strengths. And this is what we really focus on.
And it's about trust, because you need to have trust in your partner that they did it the right way, that you can work with what they deliver.
Well, it is trust in 3 ways. It is trust from the customer to the solution provider, from the solution provider to the platform provider. And you have to really bring this 360 aspect in there to say, do we really trust, and what are the trust anchors? It cannot be just the trust of a contract. It has to be technology as well. But you have to have this 360 view across the entire value chain. And this is what we can provide together.
Mm-hmm. Franz, your point here?
I mean, everything said by Christoph. I mean, I would add that, let's say we have really a strong partnership on our core business. And I would love if you could also doing this exploration together in new areas where we try to find this high-value customer pains to solve it. This would my vision for even do more extensive collaboration.
Yeah, we would absolutely love that.
I guess Microsoft definitely is up there. Out of curiosity, when I, for example, use in my private life ChatGPT and I enter some request, I get an idea. Next day, I enter same request, I get a complete different output. What about your language learning model? Same thing? Or how does that work?
Well, I think me explaining how it works will definitely blow up the overall time frame here.
We got 1 minute left.
Look at it as a very simple. I always use a very simple mental model, and it is about accuracy. It is about accuracy when you ask ChatGPT today, GPT-4, if you ask it a certain question, the variety and the complexity of the answer being the same in two consecutive requests is pretty much nearly impossible. Because at the end of the day, it is very creative and it doesn't know anything about the things that you want to do other than the aspects with regards to that people pretty much define. However, if you go more specific, and this is also about the collaboration, that you start to build more specific models that are very specific, for example, for Philip's earlier presentation on OT, machine data, and the accuracy goes up. And with the accuracy going up, you suddenly have way more reliable results. Less creativity, but more repeatability of these things. And this is why it's so important to always think about ChatGPT as not this magical pixie dust thing that just sits there, but rather think of it as they are good questions for generic purposes, and they're very important aspects for business outcomes. Yeah. And the minute it goes to business outcomes, then you go back to the solutions that, for example, Siemens provides to combine them together. And that's the way to really think about accuracy.
And a strong data force, which is how you can trust.
There's a very simple statement I always say. No data, no AI. If you don't have good data, the AI will go very creative. And so this is not something you want to rely on. And this is why it's so important.
And the successful ones will be those who know how to use the data and use it in AI with the tools given.
Absolutely.
And I guess we have the experts definitely on board. Thank you so much for sharing the insights with us, for explaining it in a bit more detail. And we're really looking forward to hear more about this cool collaboration and hear more success stories which you guys develop for our customers. Big round of applause
Thank you so much.
Christoph and Franz.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you.